WTIM.
Good morning, Central Illinois, and welcome to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Cami, and today is one of our bi-weekly chamber chats as we bring in the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce and one of their members. So over to my right, I've got Board President of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, Crystal Baker. Crystal, thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And then to my left, I have Brent Wendell. He is the owner of Wendell Land Surveying. Brent, thanks for coming in as well.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
And we're going to focus on you, Brent, a little bit later in the interview, but I want to start with you, Crystal, because we, as always, have some new members to talk about with the Chamber. Why don't you take it away on those new members?
We sure do. I have two of them to talk about today. The first one is called Leadership DNA. It's a professional development company based in Pawnee, dedicated to empowering individuals and teams. The company focuses on helping clients discover you through services like coaching, speaking, and training in leadership, personal growth, and workforce development. Leadership DNA operates on the belief that effective leadership begins with self-awareness and authenticity, aiming to build a future of leadership driven by purpose, trust, and growth. For more information, you can contact Darren Dallenberg, 217-519-2269. And then the second member is Wicked Candles and Melts. This new business is the passion project of Christian County CEO student Charlie Craigs. Charlie landed on this business venture because she loves the aesthetic and cozy feel that candlelight gives, but hates the toxic chemicals that mainstream candles contain. She decided to fill her own need by creating her own chemical-free candles using organic ingredients. She's very excited to have launched her business last month, and it is now an artisan vendor at Susie's Resale right here in Taylorville. You can find her on Facebook at Wicked Candles and Melts.
And no, that is exciting to hear about from both of them in terms of that second business. Now, the Chamber, I understand, has levels of student membership. Talk about that.
We sure do. So it's important for us to foster the growth of Taylorville by supporting workforce development efforts and programs like the Christian County CEO. So we now have a student membership level. Any high school or college student with a budding business can become a member for just $50 per year. They have access to all of our member benefits, and most importantly, by attending our events, they can connect with successful local business members who can offer invaluable experience and advice for them. So we really did this as a joint effort with the CEO program, but want to help all those students and anyone looking into local business.
No, that's great that you folks are able to get involved. I know you've mentioned, we've talked a lot on this show about how awesome the Christian County CEO program is. Now you get to combine or, work with them to kind of make your own footprint into helping young folks with their businesses, with their entrepreneurial aspirations. And so that's fantastic to hear about. Plenty of other Chamber news. What do you have in Chamber news?
We always have so much Chamber news going on. So including today's member guest, Brent Wendell, we've had several events over the last few weeks. November 13th, we had a ribbon cutting and meet and greet to welcome Heartland CASA to Christian County. I know they're looking for volunteers in our area to be advocates and voice for local foster children. So it was really great to have a ribbon cutting with them on the courthouse lawn. And then they came over to the Chamber office and got to learn a little bit more about them. This past Tuesday, we held a giving season drive through a donation event. That's going to be an annual event that we do every Giving Tuesday in upcoming years. We're collecting items to donate to different entities in our community. And then yesterday, we held a ribbon cutting ceremony to mark the completion of a time period accurate replacement roof installed on the original Christian County courthouse located at the Christian County Historical Society. The roofing and materials and time was donated by Whitney Roofing Incorporated. And then we also celebrated the grand reopening last night of Page's Auto Body. They had a really great turnout. We got to tour the new facility. We are really excited for them to be back up and running in our community after the devastation that they went through. So
that is exciting stuff. I've heard a lot of great stuff about Heartland CASA. We've had them on this show before. I also remember we had, I think it was Jody Heberling from the Historical Society.
Yes.
And she was talking about the roof, so that was cool as well. I want to go back to that giving season thing. You talked about they're collecting different kinds of items. What kinds of items?
So we did that on Tuesday in Susie's drive-through or Susie's Resale. You could just drive up and donate things like coats, items for elderly within the different facilities that they're living in. We also collected items for Kimmer Village, non-perishable items for the food pantry, all kinds of different things. And then we're just going to sort them and place them where they go.
Great items for great organizations, and that's awesome to hear about. Let's turn to business after hours. We've always got those to be excited about. I believe we have one coming up in December. I actually remember talking about it when you were here last. Tell our listeners a little more.
Our next business after hours, which is our Christmas after hours, co-hosted by Cozy Grind Gaming Parlor and Kimmer Village, is going to be on December 3rd from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the Unlimited Possibilities at Susie's event venue. That's 218 South Main Street. They are also going to do like a giving tree. So you could stop into the Cozy Grind. They have little ornaments that you can pick up, paper ornaments that you can pick up with different items that are needed. And then you can drop those back off at the business after hours.
Yeah, I remember Jackie talking about that last time out. So great that they've got that going on. In terms of other events, what do you have to share this morning?
So there's so many great shopping events coming up in Taylorville throughout November and December. Pink Friday is tomorrow. And of course, Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. And then you have Small Business Saturday next week also. All of these are perfect opportunities to use those gift certificates and get more bang for the buck, all while supporting local participating businesses. You can check out our Facebook page and our stories to see all of events and specials that our members are advertising. We are the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce on Facebook. You can also visit our community events calendar at www.taylorvillechamber.com. Also, be sure to check out the Taylorville Park District Facebook page for a lineup of all their great holiday events. They posted one giant calendar with all the things going on, so that's really excited. We have sponsored with them in a new way this year with Letters to Santa, as well as the Letters to Santa. We're doing a magical mailbox campaign. So it's so important for community organizations to support one another. We are happy to be working with Jessica, Franks, and the Taylorville Park District to make this happen. So.
Yeah, and I remember Jessica talking about that. She was on, I think, a few weeks ago, and the Letters to Santa. They've got a lot of events going on. You need a calendar to keep it straight.
I'm going to be like 4 of those things, so we're really excited. Great things for all the kids and adults and everyone. So
yeah, and then in terms of the shopping opportunities, it's and I was thinking just now, right? Like we were talking 2 weeks ago, felt too early to be shopping for stuff, and now it's kind of snuck up on us. So you've got plenty of opportunities through the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce and all the initiatives that they have going on to maybe check stuff off your list. So that has been Crystal Baker, the board president of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, talking about all things Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, as you would expect. Why don't we take a little break, and then we're going to hear more from our other guest in this interview, Brent Wendell, the owner of Wendell Land Surveying, and what he has to say. And that's coming up after this break here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station. WTIM.
The Taylorville Tornadoes are on WTIM. Listen on air or online for all football, boys basketball, and playoff games of both teams on AM, FM, and streamed on the WTIM mobile app. Sponsored by McClure Halberg Insurance, Prairie Farms Dairy, the senior citizens of Christian County, and Taylorville Community Eye Care.
Purple and gold are coming your way. The Taylorville Tornadoes are going to do it today.
Find out all the great things happening in the Pana area on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, Tuesdays from 8:40 till 10. You'll hear interviews with Pana area community, nonprofit, and business leaders each week. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by these sponsors.
Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, your Nokomis Dairy Queen, Pana Bowl, and Okanee Chop Shop.
At Taylorville Memorial Hospital, great care is a team effort. It's expert doctors, compassionate nurses, and advanced technology, all working together to deliver the best care possible for you and your family. From preventive testing to advanced procedures, Taylorville Memorial Hospital is where great care comes together for you. Visit memorial.health/TMH to see a full list of hospital services, the latest news, and additional resources like visitor information, careers, and more.
Hi, I'm Brenda Elder, Executive Director of the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation. If you're looking to grow your business, we're here to help. From supporting our local businesses to attracting new investment, everything we do is focused on building a brighter future for Shelby County. We sponsor job fairs to connect local talent with great employers and inspire entrepreneurs through the Shelby County CEO program. Click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Shelby County Economic Development, growing business, growing community.
Fall means football, festivals, and holiday fun made better with the refreshing glass of Prairie Farms lemonade. Prairie Farms is proud to partner with the Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, a national leader in the fight against childhood cancer. Look for the special QR code on your favorite bottle or jug of Prairie Farms lemonade and help us raise a minimum of $100,000 in support of child cancer research. Make a difference for families impacted by childhood cancer by choosing crisp, refreshing Prairie Farms lemonade.
Carl Krumsick here from Krumsick Monument Company in Taylorville, Illinois. Find out the many services we provide by clicking our icon on the obituaries page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Blaine Cornwell with Prairie State Insurance. To learn more about our products and services, click our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. It's sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Camine. I've been talking to Crystal Baker, board president of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, as one of our bi-weekly chamber chats. And we're now going to focus a little more on the other guests we have in here, Brent Wendell. Yeah, Brent Wendell, owner of Wendell Land Surveying. I had my paper ripped up a little bit. So, Brent, thanks for coming in and being on the show. First, just to get a little background, talk a little bit about yourself and your background in the industry of land surveying.
My background, I started actually very young. I was exposed to the construction world a little bit through my oldest brother, Larry. When I was a teenager, he would bring construction plans home from highway work, and I quickly became intrigued in those plans and the details and how they're put together and how they build things. And so I took that intrigue and followed it up into high school with some mechanical drafting classes that was given by R.G. White. R.G. White was very instrumental in pushing me forward in this field also, in the sense that he hooked me up with a great citizen of Taylorville, Monty Segrist. I spent 2 summers working with Monty, and during those 2 summers, he really instilled a good business model in my brain as to how you do business, how you treat people, honesty, community pride, those sorts of things. So I took all that, and beyond high school, I went to college at Lincoln Land, acquired a 2-year degree in construction and architectural technology. And beyond that, 2 years, I was hired by a local company in Springfield, Ralph Hahn Associates, which was an architectural engineering and a surveying firm. They made the mistake of sending me out on a survey crew a few times, and that's where it really kind of set in hard that I think surveying is what's for me. So that's where it started. And
yeah, so then you is it after? So is it the case that after that you then founded your own business? Yeah,
that the experience that I gained through working for several different companies in Springfield, that was by happenstance. Also, I ran into a college mate that coincidentally was looking for someone to help him, specifically as a surveyor for a development company in Springfield, Albers Engineering. And I was that guy. And we met by happenstance in the alley, literally at the blueprint shop. And one interview later, I was hired, and they gave me a fantastic skill set to, pursue my license and get the experience that's needed according to state laws to do so.
Okay, so you got that experience, which sounds like great experience, and then after that, is that how Wendell Land Surveying sort of came to be? Talk about kind of those next steps.
Okay, so after 9 years of working for someone else, I figured out that there's more to this than work for someone else, and there's more enjoyment for doing it for yourself. Did a little research. I was born and raised in Taylorville. And coincidentally, at that time, Taylorville was on the verge of starving for a surveyor. The local surveyors who had been doing it were at retirement age. And so stepping into it at that time was perfect for me. I talked to a lot of those folks. I knew them, knew what they did, what the community expected. There's a lot of great names in this, the Dapperts, the D Harts, the Mitchells, the Barnes, all the people before me that have done this work, and they've all done a fantastic job. And I really wanted to keep that tradition alive, and it's been 27 years of doing just that. So,
no, that is awesome. So you probably, having grown up in Taylorville, I would imagine you sort of saw what the scene was like locally in terms of what there were in terms of land surveyors, and you probably imagined that you were sort of the heir apparent once they left and Taylorville needed someone, and you came right in. Is that?
Well, I really didn't recognize that as a youth. I mean, I was more architectural based, but as I got older, yes, I was seeing them around town, and I knew that, based on what I saw and what they were doing, yeah, this was for me.
Now, you've been in it for a very long time. I would imagine the technology has evolved a lot in that time. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I first started, we were actually using the theodolites and steel chains, which is slow and methodical. And with that, then we turned into electronic measuring with total stations and theodolites. Of course, nowadays we're using GPS, which is fantastic. I wish they had GPS 27 years ago. Its abilities are amazing. People wonder, how does that actually work? What are you looking at? You're not really looking at anything. It's looking at me. The GPS that you see me around town working with, that device is reading about 25 satellites. It's doing 300 measurements per second for all satellites. So it's doing a lot of math really, really fast to get the precision that we need to do the surveying work.
Yeah, a lot of math. I would imagine, like a lot of data storage as well, which is certainly its own factor.
Yes, that data, of course, with the onsets of computers and the CAD software that follows up with that technology, you take it from field to finish, and finish being the plat of survey that is prepared at the end. Not necessarily required, but a lot of clients like that so that they have the paperwork for future reference. And if they desire to have that document recorded, then it's a matter of public record. Now, people want to understand what the plat of survey is for. It's not just for them and the public record. It doesn't make the survey any more legal. It just basically documents what was done in the field.
Now, that makes sense. Now, I would imagine some surveys are easier to do than others. What are some of those more challenging ones?
Well, a lot of things pose a challenge in surveying, the weather, the topographic conditions, whether you're crossing the creek or not crossing the creek, dealing with standing crops, tall corn back in the days when we had to use sights, a line of sight with the theodolites, the tall corn was a definite problem. GPS has solved that. So the tall corn doesn't matter as long as it's not over my head, literally over my head. I lost track of the sense of the question.
No, just in terms of like what kinds of surveys, what sorts of areas are like more challenging.
So boundary surveys are challenging because they're always a word problem. You're taking what you find, what's good, what's not good, what you use, what you don't use to establish that person's boundaries. The most challenging project for me, I did all the layout work for the demolition and reconstruction of the bridges on Interstate 55 over Lake Springfield. A lot of challenges in that job just with the elements. You're over water. It was a metric job, which was unique, dealing with the traffic, the scheduling of all the contractors. It was an enormous job that took 2 years start to finish, but fantastic ending.
No, and it sounds like it, and certainly an important one. We've got about 90 seconds left. Now, let's say someone's listening and they think what you did, seeing all those construction plans, and they think, oh, you know what, maybe I'd want to become a licensed land surveyor. How does one get to that role?
You have to have a 4-year degree in land surveying. Southern Illinois University has a fantastic program. It's been around for a long, long time. Purdue University, Arizona University. You need your 4-year degree. You need 4 years of experience as an in-charge person under another licensed land surveyor. Then you're eligible to take the 2 state exams that's required to be licensed in the state. Beyond that, we have professional development hours. We have to have 20 credit hours per 2 years for renewal on your license.
So it sounds like quite the process. Now, you mentioned 4 years. I think you said 4 years working under a licensed land surveyor. So are you one of them?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're looking for someone, then you've got Brent Wendell here and plenty of other people as well. Well, no, it sounds like fascinating work, and certainly, as we were talking about during the break, quite relevant for an area like Taylorville.
Exactly. We're an agricultural community, and land is a fantastic commodity. They don't make any more of it, and people are very passionate about their boundaries. I totally understand that, and I do all that I can to use the technology and my experience to make sure I provide them with a good solution to their boundary.
So it certainly is important work. That is Brent Wendell, the owner of Wendell Land Surveying, along with Crystal Baker, board president of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce. Thank you both again for coming in.
Thank you.
Reed.
And stay tuned. We've got more of the WTIM morning show coming up right here on your information station. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a little bit.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville.
96.1 FM Taylorville.
107.5 FM Shelbyville.
107.9 FM Pena Nokomis.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street flying high this morning, given a boost by the just-released September jobs report. Employers created at least twice as many jobs, 119,000, as economists had been expecting. The unemployment rate ticked up a notch from August to 4.4%. Financial markets also cheering NVIDIA's stellar third-quarter results.